Well, hello, and thanks for watching another episode of News of the Pews, where you can count on unapologetic 2A advocacy. Gun rights are human rights. And the only legitimate role for government, and by extension for law enforcement, is to safeguard the rights of the people, which is why it is so encouraging to see Virginian sheriffs doing the job they were elected to do and notifying the General Assembly their shiny new restrictions are grossly unconstitutional. According to Bearing Arms, the current count is at least 3 sheriffs and 5 Commonwealth attorneys who have publicly stated the ban is unconstitutional, so they're not going to enforce it. The latest are Sheriff Jeff Edds and Commonwealth Attorney Kyle Kilgore, who published an open letter stating, "We took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia. That oath requires us to evaluate laws not only through the lens of enforcement, but through the principles of constitutional liberty, due process, and the proper limits of governmental authority." Incredibly based. And with enough non-compliance from both law enforcement and from us plebes, the law is rendered utterly impotent.
All seem to be suffering from a mild form of hysteria.
Unfortunately, constitutionally minded cops have become quite rare. We have seen that most cops in most departments prefer following policy to making individual decisions as the situation demands of them. That is why elected sheriffs are so important. Municipal bureaucrats should not have an army of unaccountable thugs. In my admittedly less than humble opinion, every police chief should be an elected position and there should be no legal requirement to be a sworn officer. But what do I know? I'm just one more jackass with a camera and an internet connection. I do have one issue with the letter though. They refer to the residents of Scott County as lawful or law-abiding multiple times. I get where the sheriff's head is at, being a cop and all, but y'all need to stop referring to us as law-abiding. We abide by such laws as we don't find repugnant to the U.S. Constitution and basic human liberty. You had it right when you said we are not a threat. We are peaceable, for now. But hey, it would be impossible for me to produce quality 2A propaganda without you. That's right, I don't have any sponsors, so I literally could not make this content without your support. So if you are in a comfortable place in life, please consider supporting this channel by purchasing one of these sick t-shirts for just 15 bucks. Or maybe one of these rad stickers, mugs, or magnets is more your speed. But whether you buy merch or donate directly at the links down there in the doobly-doo, and of course right here, your help is what keeps this thing going, and I am incredibly grateful for your generous support. But if you're not in a comfortable place, please don't feel pressured. You don't owe anyone else a thing. Just enjoy this 2A propaganda at the price of free 99 and continue to pray for us. Whether it's cops or school officials, government NPCs absolutely love to avoid accountability. Life is complex and full of unpredictable variations though, and policy is kind of like computer code. You try to write the best exception handling that you can, but unhandled exceptions are almost inevitable with a complex enough system, and human interactions are pretty damn complex. So we want the people who are in positions where they can make a difference to have enough spine to do what's morally and ethically right regardless of policy. At the same time, anyone who has managed to climb the ranks in government bureaucracy has done so by never getting caught holding the bag. And that raises a difficult policy question. Do school administrators have a duty to disarm?
Serious?
Ebony Parker was the assistant principal for Rich Neck Elementary School in Newport News, Virginia, and she received multiple reports that a 6-year-old child had a gun in his bag, which she ignored. Then he shot his teacher. The teacher is fine, by the way, and Parker was charged with felony child neglect, child abuse, but just last week a judge dismissed her case because, as stupid as she was, her conduct was not described by the statute. So that's easy.
Barely an inconvenience.
We just pass a law that says administrators must take action if they have reason to believe a threat exists. Well, that's how you get kids kicked out of school for Pop-Tarts, though. or for child-safe cooking knives. 7 months ago, the San Antonio School District kicked a 5th grader out of school for bringing this knife to school in his lunchbox. Like, this thing is specifically designed not to be capable of harming a person. At least, not any more capable than the lunchbox that it was in, or the thermos full of chalky milk right next to it. The family sued the school district, and just last week the school board voted unanimously to let the poor kid go back to school. And all of this because government drones were too scared to deviate from policy. If the policy says they have to expel him when caught with a knife, they have to do that. Sorry, my hands are tied. It's policy. No, it's stupid. What do you folks think? Do we trust these NPCs with more discretion, or do we attempt to write ever more complex code to try to handle every possible exception? And your final story for today is about some delusional nutjob hippies in Oregon trying to ban hunting and fishing. Not even kidding. Initiative 28, the People for the Elimination of Animal Cruelty Exemptions, or PEACE Act, is insanely broad and would ban virtually any circumstance where an animal experiences pain or death at the hands of human, including both sport and commercial fishing, all hunting, ranching, rodeo, and countless other activities. Now, I know many of you probably think of Oregon as just Eugene and Portland, but I grew up in a very small town on the coast working on a commercial fishing boat. Rural areas on the coast in eastern Oregon are not necessarily a cesspool of patchouli and bong water. A lot of people still depend on fishing and ranching to feed their families. And for that matter, many poor Oregonians rely on venison to feed their families. Initiative 28 got enough signatures on a petition to get on the ballot, but all that means is you managed to find 120,000 vegans and Fent addicts in Portland, and well, that's like finding deadbeat dads at a fish concert. It doesn't mean it will get the voters' approval. Not even Oregon has enough nut jobs for that. Well, folks, round's complete on 2, but before I go, your moment of completion. I love you.
Ooh, dude, my mom's gonna kill me.